When you're flying a plane, there isn't much to do. Although, having said that, this could get ugly quickly. I'm going to set my autopilot so that I don't have to think about anything, and we're going to have to go up really high, like higher than the insurance on this plane actually allows me to, I think. And we're going to have to go up quick, because there is a big hill in front of me. If you don't ordinarily... honestly, I need you to talk because I can't. I'm just going to have a little bit of water. My throat's not quite right. Ah, that's better. If you're wondering where we are, we're in the Alps. In Italy, we're in Val d'Aosta. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's not very far away from Mont Blanc, and it's not very far away from Switzerland. We're reasonably near Geneva. And we're going to take off from in this valley. And then we might follow the valley around, so I don't worry too much about altitude, or we might not. I will see what grabs me. The scenery around here is photorealistic, and some of it's quite impressive, but we do need to get up quite high to be able to appreciate it. So, some guy says that Val d'Aosta is 100 kilometres from where I am. Where are you? We could fly over it, possibly. Although 100 kilometres is quite a long way. And I'll be climbing, which means we'll be going very slow. But nevertheless, we can bear it in mind. Really, I'm going to go where the scenery is, but we'll see. I'm just intrigued as to where you are. Got equal numbers of people in Twitch and in... Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, dear. A load of people just walked out of Twitch. Clearly, they're not a fan of the snow. Well, I'm not surprised. The highest I can go in this aircraft without breaking the warranty is 13,500 feet. So I'll set it for that, and then we'll see what happens. I dread to think. Right, let's go then. I shall put my autopilot on. I'll get my heading bug back to where it should be before I forget about it and we go crashing into a mountain. Which is never great. And we can just get going. Hello Jim, nice but dim, welcome to you. Let's talk to the tower. There is no tower, brilliant, I don't have to talk to them, let's go! There's just a little bit of blue sky there, isn't there? Just a little bit. Hopefully we're flying into that, because I think this is going to get really, really, really nasty. Here is Val d'Aosta, if that's how you pronounce it. Plenty of places to park your planes, and what looks like it might be a food outlet, which is great. Up, up and away! Here we go. Some guy is just explaining to us that they have the Ferrero headquarters nearby. Wow! How exciting. They make all the good things like Ferrero Rocher. And Nutella, which I don't particularly like. That's probably just lost me 50 subscribers right there. I tried it a few years ago and I just don't understand the excitement over it, to be honest, but never mind. There we are. Leaving the runway behind. Flying into some very, very, very ugly weather. We're going to have some big hills all around us. Hopefully we're going to avoid them. But I can't guarantee anything, so you might want to hold on to your hats. The scenery in this is photorealistic scenery that I have downloaded from... somewhere. I genuinely can't remember. Was it Flyaway Simulation? It might have been. I just want to gain a bit of airspeed here because we might be going up, but we're not really going across. There's some buildings down here. Hello, Matt. Hello, Zarlark. And anybody else that I've missed, there's plenty of you this afternoon. Is it because it's snowing outside? And it's horrible and you don't want to go out? and instead we're going to be in this nice little warm plane. I need to show you my plane, actually. If you don't already know, you might have noticed that the call sign for my plane has changed from Gen to JFC, and that's because, basically, I just stole somebody's plane. And I'm using it to promote JFC all over the world. You can see I've just scrawled my own call sign onto it. Isn't it brilliant? That's the view from the tower. That's not really what we're after. So yeah, you can see how close we are to the ground. That's bad. It'll be fine though. It'll be fine. I just have to make sure that I avoid this really big hill. Go over here a bit. Hello, Paputin. Oh, Ravenigma, hello to you as well. I didn't notice that you crept in there. Once we've gained a bit of altitude, this scenery is going to start looking really good. But the first thing I've got to do is make sure that we don't crash into it. I have a riverbed that I'm following. And I'm just going to have to hope that nothing untoward happens first. There's the mountains. When we are about 5,000 or 6,000 feet into the sky, it's going to start looking really good, hopefully. Although how much we're going to be able to see with this weather, I suppose, is anybody's guess. This is what it's like at the skiing. I was watching the Alpine skiing, and they actually had too much snow. We had snow earlier, it was lovely, and then it stopped, and now we haven't got any. That's England for you. So we're going to keep following this gorge, until we've gone high enough to not have to fly in it anymore. Hello to the Retu81 who says, I think the manual has a thing or two to say about flying in icy conditions. I'm sure it does. I don't doubt it. I haven't read a manual since about 1995. Moss says, I'm kind of snowed up here in Glasgow. Are you? Is it really bad in Scotland? Actually, I suppose it is. Check out these mountains coming up on the left-hand side. We should probably be more interested on what's coming up on the right-hand side, because we're really very, very close to that right now. Let's go over here. In Ohio, because this is now turning into a weather report, there's a high of 7 degrees. Well, you won't be getting any snow then. That sucks. Don't seem to be going up very quickly here, which is a bit concerning, because we need to be up. Because there isn't really much more left that we can do. Why are we not going up? Climb. Climb. More. Why are we not climbing? That's bad. Is my autopilot just being obnoxious or what? Here. I need you to be going up. Excuse me while I take control of this thing. Is it because my airspeed's really low and it won't let me? That's annoying. Why is this? Why is this? This is bad. This is really bad. This is about to be a total disaster from the outset. We're about to crash into the Alps. Oh! Oh dear. Well, that's frustrating. No, well, there we go. There's the hill. There's the hill that screwed us up. I'm going to have to try that again. We didn't go up. We'll try that again. Some guy says that if I look below the GPS screen, there could be little levers to turn on beacon and strobe lights. Strobe lights equals party plane. Party plane. Awesome. Right, we'll try again, but this time we'll have a party. While I have control of the plane. Right. There's no tower, let's just go up. Let's try that again. Altimeter's setting correctly. As if. Of course it is. You can see all the people from Euro Truck Simulator going past. Look. There they are. That might be me delivering lumber to Ream. Right, anyway. Up we go. Up we go. The Retu says, about that ice. Do I need to flick some switches? Is that what it is? Have things got iced up? Is it going to happen again? Are we all going to die? That's bad. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you are right. Though when we get to a certain bit, it kind of doesn't go up quite as much as I would expect it to. Are things frozen up? That's bad. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, I'm getting nasty beeping noises at me now. Okay, well. Let's just put this on pause for a second and have a look at this. Is there a kind of a keep plane warm function? Also, is there a party function? Need to find the party button and the I'm flying in really cold weather button. Right, let's have a look. I've got lights. Strobe. On, yes. On. I want that on. How do I turn it on? Turn on! Can I not turn it on from here? That would be really bad. Where are my levers? Where are my levers? I can't actually see anything now. I don't really know how to fly a plane, you know. I would have thought that would be very obvious by now. I just get it off the ground and don't worry about it. But today I'm going to have to worry about it, and that's bad. Do I still have the flaps down? Flaps? Flaps. Right, how do I put this ditto light on? Oh, there we go. Strobe light switch on. I think that might now be on. On. Taxi off. Oh, pilot. Got some heat. I'll turn the heat on. The heat is on. Dun, 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 dun. The heat is on. Will that help? There is a flap thing here. I don't know what that does though. Anyway, my heat's on. My heat's on. Will that make a difference? I hope it does make a difference. We're about to find out. Ooh. I've got my heat on. Look. Ooh, we're going up. Slowly. Ooh, okay, okay, okay. We're not going up quite that quickly. Okay, fine. Don't screech at me. That's frightening. I think I've got higher than I did last time, though. I just don't know where I am now because I can't pay attention to the controls and everything else. Right, hang on. Cheat. Cheat, Jenny. Cheat. This was supposed to be a nice scenic ride into the Alps and it's turned into a bit of a nightmare, frankly. But I think I might have cracked it with the heat thing. Right, 3,500. Upness. Is my heading right? No, my heading's all over the place. Heading is straight into a mountain. That's bad. There we go. Right. I'll let you take over, but only if you're not going to crash me this time. Thank you. No, that's downwards. We want to go up. Up, please. Up would be great. Yeah? Up. Yes! Good. Whew. I do think I've managed to climb a little bit higher than I did earlier. I want to show you all the stunning scenery. It genuinely is stunning, this. If we get high enough over it, you'll be going, oh, how lovely. Oh, that's lovely. Or words to that effect. Anyway, was the heat thing the right switch? Because I seem to have sorted that out. I'll just look back. I think possibly one of my party lights is on, you just can't really see it. The levers to turn up in flight are navigation, strobe, beacon and party. Excellent. Right, I've got beacon on. I've got navigation on. I've got strobe on. I've got taxi and land, which I don't think have anything to do with this at all, hopefully. Anyway. Brave Enigma says, does this flight have meal service? I keep having to tell you, you've got to bring your own food. Anyway, none of you are having food because last time somebody spelt their JFC all over the floor under the seats. But the bucket did come in quite handy afterwards. Can't lie. In case you're wondering what I'm on about, I've transferred into the JFC plane. It's brilliant. Everybody can see me coming now. I just scrawled my new call sign over the other one. That's the view from the tower, which is great. That's me, allegedly. Ah, there we go. Back in the cockpit. Hopefully, if we climb a bit further, which I have cracked, I would point out, by finding the switch of heat, soon it will start looking pretty good. It's horrible. Hello, Big John. Hello, Mr. Weird Wacky, who has brought out an extra loud bag of crispy crisps. Well, now we can all hear you eating them. Oh, no, it's alright, it's come back. John says it looks like Starsky and Hutch. It does a bit, doesn't it? It does look a bit like Starsky and Hutch. Brilliant though, isn't it? Very pleased with that. Hello, Halicaliber. Says, I'm going to start my first Dungeons and Dragons sessions for years. And I thought, hey, Jenny streams. I can watch her when I do the finishing touches. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There we go. The scenery's starting to get quite exciting now. Let's just switch seats. Wow. I have to remember, though, where to go, because some of it's snowy and some of it isn't. The snowy bits at the top. So once we've climbed a bit, we'll try and go into the snowy bits. This is quite a relaxing flight when it's not actually snowing. I do think that the mountains look great. If you're new and you don't know where we are in the Alps. We took off from Val d'Aosta in Italy. We are very near Switzerland. And also reasonably near death. Because I can't fly a plane for toffee, as we've just found out. Ooh, that's some very, very deep gorges that we could find ourselves in. If you are in Twitch and you can host me, that would be amazing. Similarly, if you're on either platform and you can like it or love it or whatever you have to do with it, tell your friends, retweet, all those other lovely, lovely things that you've been doing. We do tend to forget, actually, that if I get 50 consecutive... No, I always say consecutive and I don't mean that. 50 concurrent... Woo! Altimeter setting correctly. 50 concurrent viewers. We open the mystery bag of prizes. But that hasn't happened for a while. We've got quite close, but not close enough. Just Red, hello to you, is vomiting. And says it suddenly looks real. It does, doesn't it? Once you get over a certain altitude, it starts to look horribly, worryingly real. And if you don't like heights, this is not the place to be. Not least because we might be coming down from those heights very unexpectedly. You have to say, though, that's pretty impressive. I have Val d'Aosta and I have Trentino, Mont Blanc, the Matterhorn, all of that kind of area. Doesn't look very snowy, though. I don't know why, given that there's loads of snow. there's the other side. People actually live in places like this. It must be really awesome. Matt Not a Food, who is hosting me, hello sir and thank you, says, I don't see any landing strips down there. I don't know. I can see a very big one. Make your own, Matt. That's what you have to do. Make your own. That's pretty cool. Right, what are we at? What are we at? We're at nearly 7,000. Going up to 13.5. I'm going to just turn a little bit because I want to stay in this gorge for as long as I possibly can. There we go. Oh, wow. I apologise if you're getting slight motion sickness. It's just a touch of turbulence, as you would imagine with this sort of weather. Raven Enigma says, is this live weather or is it just random game weather? This is live. This is happening right now. I have Active Sky Next, which goes off and gets the real world weather. And I can confirm it is like this in the Alps. I've just watched the skiing and this is what it's like. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of snow. Even more snow than you're imagining right now. Oh, there's a little town down there. Hello! Oh, and another one. Hello! How do they travel to each other, I wonder? Because there's a huge gap between them. And one of them's higher than the other, so the one on the left possibly just flicks M&Ms on the one on the right, possibly. Wow, now it's getting snowy. Look over there. Proper snow. Oh, very, very snowy. Yes, some guy lives 100 kilometres from where we're currently flying in real life. In the town with the Ferrero Rocher factory. He is confirming that it is live weather. That's very cool. I don't know whether we've ever had anybody in the stream who has accidentally come from the same place as I'm flying in. That's awesome. Matt Not Food says that they reach each other by public mountain goats. Englander says that public mountain goats worked so well until the council cut the goats back. Did they cut them and eat them? In a sort of Alpine goat stew. Wow. These mountains are getting taller and taller. Wowzers. We're now getting so high that there is cloud appearing in the mountains. If we just look back at where we've come from, that was quite steep. Yikes. That's pretty cool though. It's gonna have to hope. I'm heading in roughly the right direction. I will just go right a little bit because I want to stay in here. And then once we've reached a decent altitude, we might try flying over the mountains. Ravenigma says that it would be a fun idea to fly where my subs and viewers live on a world tour. It absolutely would. I have already asked people to name places and airports. In the pilot episode of this, we did a we went to Coventry to see if we could see Coventry Cathedral for Sam, but unfortunately we couldn't because I only had the default scenery, whereas now I suspect it would probably be there. But yeah, it would be pretty awesome. So some guy, I think you can consider this your episode. And you live in a very awesome place, I have to say. This is spectacular. And it's stopped snowing, so I can stop worrying about it. Let me just switch seats back to my own seat and we'll have a look out this side. Wowzers. Some guy who is obviously very worried about this says that the maximum altitude for the Cessna 172 is 13 to 15,000 feet depending on the model. I've taken this up to 18,000 feet because I could. The warranty apparently goes out at 13,500 feet. Not that I've looked that up or anything. Englander says, can we do Solent, Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight? Yes, I imagine we probably can. That would be quite a nice flight along the coast. Where would we have to go from if I did that? Does the Isle of Wight have an airfield? I imagine it must do. Crumbs, look at that. Yikes. Is there anybody down in that gorge? Whew. Jim says that Llanfyr and Carfarnon airports are the nearest to you. You're in Wales, then. I don't have any scenery for Wales, but I can probably find that out. We could go from Southampton for the Isle of Wight and Portsmouth. That's very true. I mean, I've got access to like every airfield in the known universe. So if there's a tiny little private airstrip, we can go from that. I think that pretty much every airfield ever is in this. And I do mean ever. Even to the point where the other day I took off from an airstrip in California and I didn't know that I was in like vineyard country. And it turned out that the airstrip that I'd taken off from was like a little tiny private airstrip belonging to one of the guys who owns one of the vineyards. That was in the game! So yeah, pretty much anywhere. That is just spectacular, isn't it? Wow! It's stuff like this that makes this simulator worthwhile. That is stunning. Mr. Wacky says you could try and land on top of one of the mountains. It could do. We might be doing that more by accident than by design, I fear. Just have a look at my topography map here. There isn't anything left of this. I think, I might be wrong, but I think that coming up might be like Mont Blanc or something along those lines. I don't know the area very well. One of these is Mont Blanc. Might even be that one there. That's taller than all the others. But the problem is that once we've got to the end of this gorge here, it's either up or round. That's a decision I'm going to have to make reasonably soon. Ravenigma says that Akron Canton Airport is closest to me, but where I used to live in Anchorage, Alaska would be much more scenic. Possibly. I don't have Alaska scenery at the moment because it costs quite a lot of money. Where is Akron Canton Airport? Because if it's in California, Nevada, Washington, Arizona, anywhere along that coast, it would actually be easier and free to get the scenery for that. Wow. I don't know which side I like more. I think your side. I think I prefer your side because it's snowy and I like it. That is awesome. Northern Ohio. I will go and find out. I've got a feeling that Ohio is available. Idaho certainly is. Montana is. Yeah, I think Ohio possibly is, so I'll go and look that one up. I always feel like you could reach out and touch these mountains, and not because I'm flying too close to them, I hasten to add. I'll just have a quick look from the outside for John. Almost looks like somewhere I shouldn't be. Probably because it is. Wow. Right, need to start thinking about your safety now. So where am I going to go once we've got to the end of this gorge? Somewhere totally inappropriate, I think, might be the answer to that. Right, I might be able to hang a right. I think I can. I reckon that when we get to the end of this, I can hang a right and go along the gorge going to the right, and we should get some absolutely stunning views. In any event, if I find myself in real trouble, I can just switch to the glider. It's all a bit of a cheat, really. I can switch to the trike, because then I can land pretty much anywhere. So if we do find that I'm getting into big trouble, there are options. It's just that being in a trike at this sort of altitude in reality would probably kill you. Fascinatingly, after about, I think it might be 14,000 feet, I have to give you supplemental oxygen. I hope you've brought your own, because I'm not carrying any. I haven't even got any peanuts or anything, I'm afraid. You have to bring your own. Wow. Wow. Somebody contacted me and said there was a plane called the Jenny, which there is. And I tried to download it and I can't remember whether I was successful. But anyway, that's like a World War II aircraft or something, so I can't imagine that that would be doing this sort of flight. Doesn't mean that we can't go over the Solent in it, however. Wowzers. It's just stunning. It's just genuinely stunning. What I also find stunning is the fact that anybody could actually sit and build this and get it so accurate. It's amazing. I mean, some of the scenery is so good. The roads are exactly right, the rivers are exactly right. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I tell you what wasn't exactly right. Milton Sound in New Zealand. That went very, very wrong, to the point where the runway was actually on stilts. So I'm going to have to sort that out. Apparently there's a fix for it, but I can't get it working. I have to say, I think that the red bit kind of ruins it. If that was white, it wouldn't be anywhere near as obvious. But never mind. It's alright, Matt, you didn't miss Milford Sound. We didn't go there. Because it was such a mess. We will do when I get it sorted out. We'll go all sorts of places when I get them sorted out. It's just the world is such a big place. It really genuinely is just such a huge place. Like, you could sit for hours downloading scenery. And in fact, I'm going to have a new hard drive to fit all this scenery on. So we could probably do with starting with the places where my subscribers come from, and then we can go to some of the more scenic places after that. The problem is I am worried that it is going to be very disappointing for you. Because I can't guarantee, with the best will in the world, that the scenery will be that good. But I will try my best. Why did my engine just sound like it went down a bit? Matt says Milford Sound has sandflies the size of bees. Great. Won't be using the trike there then. Right, I need to make a decision, so I think what I'm going to do is use my map to cheat slightly. I'm going to turn and we're going to go along what looks reasonably like a gorge. Reasonably. And just pray that I am actually high enough, because if I'm not, then it's going to hurt. Is that Mont Blanc in the background? Have we got any geographers or geologists or anybody who would know? That looks a bit Mont Blanc-y to me. It's very tall and it's very Blanc. You can see my party lights as well, actually. I don't think they're as obvious on the red plane as they are on the original one, but I do have a blue party light going on there. Let's turn a bit more. Do get some cracking views, actually, when you turn your plane a bit sharpish. The reason that I think I recognise that as Mont Blanc is because there used to be some chocolates in the UK called Mont Blanc, I think. And I'm pretty certain that the logo looked like that. Because it's quite a famous shape. But I am a little bit concerned that we're going to die. So I just want to make sure that we go down this gorge prior to worrying about whether that's Mont Blanc or not. Switch to your window. There we go. Oh, lovely. Yep, it is a gorge, so we're going to go into the gorge. That's awesome. Oh, actually, hang on. No, sorry, that gorge is the one that goes off right... Oh, that's where... Hang on. Is that where I've just come from? It is where I've just come from. No, it can't be. Because back there is where I've just come from. Oh well, we're going down here anyway. We just have to pray. Oh, look, we're even above the clouds now. Yikes! This could go so very, very wrong. I want to see Mont Blanc, like, properly. It's over there. Party lights. Definitely got the party lights on. I hope you're partying. What you're probably doing is hanging onto your seat going, oh my god, there's a massive mountain just literally there and please don't crash into that. Although knowing you lot, you're probably going, please do crash into that, because that's what you're like. Just don't look down. Go just a little bit left to try and stay away from the big mountain. You've all gone very quiet, and I suspect it's because now you are genuinely fearing for your lives. I'm going a bit quiet because I genuinely have got to get this plane round this mountain. Back to my seat, back to my seat. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That looks cold. That looks like the sort of place that if you crashed in it, you wouldn't survive. Sorry. Matt says we might have passed out due to the thin air. That's true. What are we at? 12,000. So yeah, you might have done by now. Equally, you can just sit back and relax and look at the snow. Jim says, can I get out now? No. There's a big, like, road or something? What's that that's going all the way down there? Is there a big road that goes all the way down the mountains? Englander says this is too relaxing. Oh, is that what it is? You're all relaxed. Exactly the opposite of what I thought you'd be. Well, that's good. That's excellent. Once I'm sure that we're not going to die, I will position the view out of your window so that you can have a look. Some guy says that does look like Mont Blanc. That is, isn't it? That is Mont Blanc. Well, if nothing else, today you've seen Mont Blanc. So hopefully, when we do a little bit of turning, we should be able to see all of that a bit better. At the moment, I can't see blimmin' anything. I'm just having to use my Garmin monitor. Incidentally, in the red plane, you might have noticed, there's some great big advertising as to what the plane is and who made the screens. That's not there in the white one. I expect Garmin to sponsor me now. That's what my call sign is, Garmin and JFC. Good old advertising, eh? Some guy says, if it is Mont Blanc, then along the gorge is the resort town of Chamonix. The only thing that I know about Chamonix is I'm pretty certain that that's where all our football fans got done with water cannons during the Euros a few years ago because we couldn't behave ourselves. Right, if I just knock my heading bug back a couple of degrees, I think we're okay. I think we're safe. And that means that we can just sit back and enjoy the view for the first time in about 45 minutes. And if not, then the last thing that you saw before dying in a fiery ball was Mont Blanc. Let's move into your seat. There we go. Oh. 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 That's... Oh, yes. Just... Yes. I should do streams where I don't talk at all. And you can just watch the scenery roll by and chat with each other if you feel like it. No, Moss, I do not provide parachutes. We have no food. No parachutes. No oxygen. No chance. We have got a bit of turbulence though. That's not my fault. I promise, it's not my fault. If you're new here and you've not joined in the conversation, welcome to you. We are flying around the Alps today in a series that doesn't quite have a name yet, because I've started calling it Come Fly With Me, but then I suddenly thought that maybe it should be called Jenny's Flying Circus, and I can't decide which one. It's been suggested to me that I could call it Jenny's Flying Circus, but sing Come Fly With Me at the start of every episode, which is a possibility. Right, just want to make sure we're still going the right way. I also want to see how close we are. Does that say about 12,900? Because if so, then we're nearly there. You move the window out of the way so you can see the view. There we go. When we started this flight from down in a valley, the weather was genuinely horrible. Depending on how much you like frozen rain crashing into your face, it was awful. And now it's all sunny. Englander says you could be worse. You could sing Flying the Flag by Scooch. I could do. You see, I didn't think that was too bad a song, you know. I actually didn't think they did too badly at all. But everybody hated it. That is some serious viewage of Mont Blanc. Some guy, if you're still with us, would you let us know whether the mountains that we're looking at, is it just mountains? Is there anything there at all? Like, if you wanted to go up Mont Blanc, would you have to cross all of that to get there? Hello ZX Becky, how are you doing? Welcome to Come Fly With Me or Jenny's Flying Circus. We are in the Alps, it's been snowing, it's now lovely and sunny, and that is Mont Blanc, which I'm actually quite proud of finding at all. We will be climbing to an altitude of whatever doesn't get me killed. There are no onboard facilities, so stop asking. There is also no supplemental oxygen, so if you are feeling slightly drowsy, just go with it. If you need a sick bag, you might have to hunt for the KFC buckets that were discarded under seats last week. That's very, very snowy. Mr. Zombie says, I brought my own food anyway. Good! You're catching on. Good. I'm just going to switch back into my seat, which means I have to do that, because I want to see this side, where it's very, very white. That's pretty impressive, I have to say. But not as impressive as Mont Blanc, which is my new favourite thing. I feel sufficiently confident that if we did a really hard right now, we could actually fly over there and see Mont Blanc reasonably close up. But, because there's no snow over there, is there? There's no snow. If I fly just to the end of there and we'd sort of hang a right... Yeah, I think we could do it. I think we could do it. Right, be very afraid. I was not roaming about the cabin. There's only 2 seats I can get at. I'm currently in yours, incidentally. There are 2 seats behind me, so you're just going to have to fight over those, but I'm just switching around between my seat, which is this one here, and your seat, which is the passenger side. Okay, let's go a bit more right. I'm feeling pretty confident, I have to say. You shouldn't be. I'm just trying to work out on my screen here. So Mont Blanc must be at the end. Actually, if I zoom in, it might even show me, because often the tops of very, very high mountains are sort of marked. Right, there is the... That's it there. There seems to be a river. Is there a river goes through it as well? Now what that is showing me is I think we could go very, very, very right here. Or very, very, very wrong. Why is my heading bug keep resetting? Stop it! It's because I'm not sitting in my own seat. There we go. Right. Here we go. We're not dead. Yes. Have we gone the wrong way? Right, we've now got snow on that side, and not on that side. Well, I'm officially lost now. I don't know what I did there. I think Mont Blanc might actually be behind us now. Oh well. Never mind, eh? Oh no, there it is. Right. I think. From the other side. Right, back to my seat. Back to me. There we go. Hey! Oh, you can see my disco lights better from here as well. I'm just looking out the window, and I think it's trying to snow again. But it's doing a really bad job of it. Boring! A little lake down there. And some of the twisty roads that some guy has told us that we have. Twisty. Is that like twisty fries? Right, what altitude are we at? Oh, we're levelling off. We are actually levelling off. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but we are at 13,500 feet. Looking at some very spectacular and ridiculously realistic looking scenery. There are people wandering in and around and about. In and out. So if you are new here, welcome to you. This is Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you could use some exotic booze, there is none on this plane. I told you that you need to bring your own again. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Into the side of a mountain, probably. Oh dear, you wouldn't want to end up down there, would you? At least not in a plane. Maybe to live. It'd be pretty cool to live down there. How lovely. Got me thinking now about where we can fly. So the Solent, you want us to do the Solent and probably Ohio. I think I can do that. I think we can get scenery for that. In fact, Ravenigma, if you can find the airport or the airfield to the closest to where you are and give me the code for it, then I should be able to track that down. Somebody asked me to do Manchester in the UK, because that's reasonably near to me, and I did, and it was terrible. It was rubbish. There was nothing there. I was really, really disappointed. I did say we'd go back to Coventry just for a quick look to see if Coventry Cathedral had been put in. I'm trying to think where else I've downloaded as well, like California coast, Grand Canyon. That's very good actually. The Grand Canyon's a really good flight. It looks lovely. Bits of Nevada, Arizona, Washington, Idaho, Montana. Big Bend National Park, that was one of them. Channel Islands National Park, is that in California? I'm pretty certain I've got that as well. All sorts of places. The entire island, we went flying over some islands, didn't we? And I told you that... oh no! I told you we can't see anything! That's bad. That's really bad, actually. Okay, right. Now you should be scared. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we did some flying over some... Was it St. Vincent? No, it was Tahiti. But I've got the entire island chain between Antigua and Barbuda and Trinidad and Tobago. And that's a really nice flight. They are quite separate from each other, but some of the islands are lovely. Unlike this, I also flew over Papua New Guinea. Now that is stunning, but full of storms. It was just lightning all the time, which was terrifying. I've got a little bit of... I've got a little blob here. I don't know what the blob is. That usually denotes restricted airspace or something. Let me just check my main map on that one. What's the blob? Why have I got a blob? Oh, we've actually come back. We've actually accidentally come back from where we started, which is good. But I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is. Yeah, this is what we started out with, and it was not good. Well, England's nearest airport is called Daedalus Airfield. That's kind of cool. I'll tell you what isn't kind of cool, is getting stuck in this. Kent State University Airport is Ravenigma's. I reckon we can find that, no problem. Yeah, that'll be there. if it's small, I mean seriously, it doesn't need to be any more than a little flattened bit of grass for it to have made it into Flight Simulator, so I reckon that will be there. Right, I'm a bit concerned now because I can't see a blooming thing. At all. Literally nothing. Ah! I think we'd have to come down to try and get out of the cloud, which is a frankly terrifying thought. But hey, if I crashed, you lot wouldn't care anyway. Because you love that kind of thing. I don't know why I'm even worrying. Let's come down. There we go. Down to maybe 8,000. We'll come down to 8,000 and pray that we come out of this cloud, because otherwise it could be a very sudden fiery death. Need to watch my airspeed as well, because as we come down, knots will go up. Turn the engines down slightly. Oh, that's a nice rumbling. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I suppose we should be glad that we got the views that we did, because it could have been like this for the entire thing, which would have been rubbish. Reset my altimeter. There we go. Bring the engine down a bit more as well, so we can lose some altitude without going immediately smack into the side of anything. If this was real, I'd be terrified now. Absolutely terrified. I don't know where I am! Oh, ooh, 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 hello! Hello! Oh, that didn't take too long, did it? Excellent, right. I'll just quickly get the autopilot to stop dropping again. Whoop, hang on. No, 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 don't go up. No, 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 no. Honestly. So difficult to control. There we go. 12,000. Wow. Wow. Lovely if we ignore the terrible snow. Or whatever that is. Oh, there's a big gorge down there. Big river going through it. Do people live down there? Looks like they probably do. I need to keep an eye out here because this gorge ends rather suddenly, and I don't want to end us with us going into the side of a mountain, although I know that you do. There's no other airfields around that I know of, so I'm not really certain what I'm going to do about landing. I can see some air space round here. So there must be somebody over there, but nevertheless, the first thing I need to do is get us out of here alive, because I can't blooming see. Could just fly along that gorge, I suppose. That would be the easiest thing to do. Wow. At least the snow has eased off a little bit. Start turning into this. When I finish this, incidentally, I'm going to watch some bobsledding. There's bobsledding on this afternoon and I love it! Absolutely love it. I've seen skiing, I've seen bobsledding, I've seen half-pipe snowboarding. Did anybody watch that yesterday? The snowboard half-pipe World Cup? Somebody got very injured. I don't know whether he's alright or not, but it took about half an hour to get him off the slope. It was awful. Oh, there's a nice lake down there with a little town round it. Ah, lovely. They definitely do need to do an edition of this where you can point at the town and go, where is that? And it tells you. I've learnt quite a lot about geography and stuff since I've started playing this. Did you know that one of the best 5 golf courses in the world is on one of the islands in St Vincent and the Grenadines? No, neither did I until I looked down and saw it and went, there's a golf course down there, that's weird. All sorts of stuff going on down there. Yes, Englander, I too love ice hockey. I love it. In fact, the Gameplay Jenny channel sponsors an ice hockey player, which you might not know about. Adam Taylor of the Telford Tigers is sponsored by GameplayJenny.com. Not that there's anything at the .com bit of it much now, but that was pretty cool. Right, how are we doing? I think we're okay. Just need to get down this gorge without dying. Hello to Null. Welcome to you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Come Fly With Me, or Jenny's Flying Circus. Depending on which side of it you fall, flying over the Alps. We've been through snow, we've been through cloud, we've been through gorges, and we've also actually been into a mountain by accident. Oh, hello to Spiky8484 on Twitch. This is, I used to go and see Telford Tigers years ago when I lived there. I love that ice rink. I do as well, although I don't like the new one quite as much. They've redone the inside and it's just not the same anymore. I always used to think it was very well designed, and then they decided to put some more money into it and the council redesigned it, I think, to get some of the space leased out to other people for the money. And it's just not the same now. But it's still good fun. Right, if I've got to be worried about anything, it's the driver's side, if you'll forgive me. There we go. Because all of this is getting a bit close. Right, pop the throttle back on and we should start climbing again, back up to 12,000 feet. Some guy says that we were looking at the Lac du Chevril, or Chevral? Is it Chevril? Near the town of Tignes. Thank you very much. It's really awesome, actually. Some guy who is in the YouTube chat actually lives here, or nearby, which is very cool. It is very cool because it's snowing all the time. If you're completely new to the channel, incidentally, then do please come for the Alps, but stay for the 920 other videos. If you've missed it today, there's a new episode of Oblivion out this morning. On Friday there was an episode of Morrowind which was strangely like this, in which we actually do a flying tour of Vardenval. Last weekend I rejoined Theme Hospital. And something else. Was it Fallout New Vegas? I think it was. We also flew over Tahiti. That was good. That was very scenic. And there's any number of other crazy. And if you want more crazy, I have to put an advert in. I do have a Patreon channel. And if you join that, you get bonus Jenny. Mostly about food. All the food related games. You also get The Sims. And get to be in The Sims. Although I've got to catch up with that because there are so many of you now. I need to do some more episodes. Oh, and we did City Skylines. Yes, thank you, Jim. Yes, we did. Where people started dying. A lot. Mr. Wacky says this episode of that episode of Morrowind is great. Thank you very much indeed. It was good. I enjoyed doing that. It was something a bit different. Let's just go back over here. I could be wrong, but I think we might be going back to the default scenery. I say default. I have FTX Global, so it would always look better anyway. But these mountains look suspiciously less photorealistic. If you look at those, definitely photorealistic. If you look at those, not so much. Well, I think we might well be flying out of my general scenery area, unfortunately. But it can't last forever. Well, it could last forever, it's just you'd have to have about 1,000 terabytes of scenery on your hard drive. That's still photorealistic there. What's my heading right now? Absolutely anywhere at all. My heading right now is 146 degrees, which is southeast, just about. We're getting a lot more clouds now. A lot more. I don't want to fly into any storms or anything. I really shouldn't look down, that's terrifying. If we are going to be dropping into cloud, I might well have to come down a bit more, but I think we're going to have to do that anyway. Because I'm going to have to find somewhere to land. So, we're coming into a flat bit. Let's start reducing altitude. Not that we hadn't done that anyway. Down to about 6,000, maybe 7,000 actually. There we go. And I may or may not be able to find somewhere to land. If I can't, then I will just make somewhere to land. I'm not a fan of promoting my own income streams, but if you do want to contribute for just $1 a month, you can access all the extra videos. Because YouTube is closing in. The net is closing in. And eventually, they might take monetization off me altogether, which would be rubbish. I don't make very much at all. And when I say don't make very much, I mean literally like, you know, nothing. But it does pay for me to be able to buy more scenery for games like this and that sort of thing. Hello, AV872, he says, is this Carinado? I don't know, but I tell you who might do. We've got a guy in the chat called some guy who lives in this general area, and he might well know. What I know is that we're up in the sky in some mountains. That's the extent of my geography. There, in fact, there are the end of the mountains. That is the end of the Alps. That's kind of weird. I suppose they've got to end somewhere. And we've got a river down there, I think. And I'm not sure what else is going on. Moss, who has clearly watched today's Oblivion episode, says, "Did you know that Savage Garden had a single by the name of Crash and Burn?" Well, that doesn't surprise me. Honestly, I hate them. I can't stand them. Wouldn't surprise me if every single one of their songs had some relationship with my channel, just because. Englander in Twitch says, "The Patreon videos are worth it. Thank you." Thank you very much. Oh, beg your pardon, Aviate. Sorry, this is how little I know about flying. A Carenado is actually an aircraft. I'm so sorry. No, I'm in a bright red Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000. Ta-da! It's the bright red Jenny Chicken advertising plane that you all know and love. With the party lights. Can actually see the party lights properly as well. Check it out. That's the tower view. There we go, that's me. There we go. Oh, can I have my scenery back, please? Where's my plane gone? Oi! It's taking the advertising away! We'll try that again. Can I have my advertising back, please? There we go. Thank you. Yeah, it's the party Cessna. We're in the party Cessna. Jim's getting excited because there are flat fields below which are possible landing and or crashing spots. Yes, I can't say I've not had the same thought. Right, what are we down to? 8,000. Need to keep going down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Got an airport over there. Never going to make that one though. Let's just see what it is. Serione. Serione. Oh, sorry if you need your sick bags. There's a lot of turbulence. It's all that cloud, you know. Very annoying. In fact, to be honest, the cloud up ahead looks bad. I don't think we'll get any storms. I don't think there are any in the general area today, but what have we got then? We've got a lake. There's a lake there. Let me just zoom out a bit more, if it would let me. That's the problem with turbulence. No, it's just that one. We might have to land in a field then. Or get the glider out. Wow, we flew over all of the Alps. How amazing is that? Did really well. So just all fields and rivers now. In fact, the other side, your side's more exciting than my side. And there we go. You can see where we've reached a break in the scenery because certain fields are now covered in snow and others are not. That's pretty impressive. I wonder where that is. It's quite a big town with quite a lot of watery bits in the middle of it. Sorry, we have to go through cloud at some point. We'll just descend through this and then have a think about what I might do. The thinking being that I might just land in a field. I'm also intrigued by these little spots of what looks like restricted airspace on my monitor. Never been really one to play by the rules. What's the river, incidentally, some guy? There's a river that seems to go right through all of the mountains and then all the way up to the top of my screen. Is it a famous river? Should I know it? There we go. Come back down again now. Back to my seat. Drop down to 3.5. Scenery's getting a bit dubious on this side, isn't it? It's not great. Okay, so if we look to the left, if we're lucky enough, we might be able to see an airport. The airport code is LILE. And this is now, unfortunately, the slightly enhanced default scenery, so now it's nowhere near as exciting, which is a real pity. Oh, now you can't see anything anyway! I'm sorry I slagged off the scenery, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Actually, it should give me the air traffic control should give me the name. There we go. Sorry, Serione it was. We've also got Cassel, Cameri Mill, Air Italia, and Malpensa. None of those sound very big. So I could attempt a sneaky landing, if there's one around. A sneaky landing so that I'm not embarrassed. Oh, there's quite a lot of them over to the left. Not really heading for any of them, am I? Let me just get a better view of my screen here. We've gone over the border! We've escaped! We're over the border and we've escaped! Yes! Right, what I might start doing then... Can I use this heading button? Yeah. 2 heading buttons, that's convenient. We will start going to where there looks to be a bit of life. Cassel is the Turin airport and Malpensa is Milan. Thank you! Excellent. I love having this information. It's brilliant. Right, we'll just do a lot of turning. And then we'll probably try and land in a field, if I'm honest. I know that sounds terrible, but... There's a lot of fields! We just need to find one that doesn't have any trees in it. That's a lot of... whatever that is. Is that trees? I think that might be trees. Scenery is so rubbish around here. Oh, I've actually gone too far. Actually gone too far. I'm assuming that RMG and BLA are actually markers rather than airports. There's a little runway there, that's LIMN by the looks of things. I'm just flying entirely by the Garmin now, sponsor. We've gone from really spectacular scenery to really rubbish scenery. That sucks. Okay, let's get this down to 2,000. And we'll start coming down a little bit quicker. so that I can go and watch me bobsledding. Take some throttle off so that we don't end up burning out in the atmosphere. Oh, there we go. There's the mountains that we came over. Lovely. We'll try and land in the river. As we're descending, I would just like to thank you for joining Jenny Airways today in my spiffy new red plane, which I nicked. It's pretty good though. I wanted red interior, I wanted like red leather seats or something, but I couldn't have that. Oh, we must be in range of a tower because it's uh-oh. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, you have to excuse me for a moment. Things have gone very wrong at this end. There we go. Got a bit confused there. You can actually see me from the tower. Brilliant. There aren't many trees around here. I reckon that landing in a field is on. Ah, Ravenigma, I had crashed, just not in the way that you would normally expect. I think it just got confused as I switched between the views. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, thank you all for joining me. It really is lovely to see so many of you here, and it's a real laugh. And we'll try and do some flights around people's local areas. As I say, I can't promise that they'll be any more exciting than this, but we can at least try and take off. Well, no, we will definitely take off. We don't have to try to take off. It's more the landing bit of it that's the issue. But we absolutely will visit some people's homes, not literally. Can I land before the river? I do quite like, between you and me, I do quite enjoy trying to land in a field and having to like skid round all of the trees. It's quite good fun. Now we're back into the default textures now, and because I've selected winter, it seems to think that it's snowed all the time. That looks like cabbages. I found the cabbages. End of stream. Oh, they're too big for cabbages. Unless you're playing Banished. I don't know what that is. Solar panels? Dunno. Bit weird. Oh, there's some more of them. Trees? Orchards? Don't know. Don't know, don't know. Don't know. Right, if you've never landed with Jenny Air before, you should now be terrified. I'm taking off the autopilot. We are now going to crash. Here we go. I'm really hoping that this field genuinely doesn't have any trees in it. Because if some appear, we're in real trouble. A little shed. I'll use that as my air traffic control. Hello, little shed. Sorry, farmer, if it's the farmer's house or something. We're down. I am applying the brakes. I I am skidding over here because that looks like water. No, we're all right. We are alive! Yes! We're in the middle of a random field in Italy, but we're alive! And I landed next to a little house. Hello! Everybody wave at the little house, because they're calling the police right now. Ah, that was great. Those mountains are fantastic. Ah, yes. Well, I think we can all agree that that's been an unqualified success if we forget what happened the first time that I tried to do this flight. But, well, thank you all for joining me in my little plane, the party plane. We can have a disco in that house now. You can all get the food that you secretly brought out from under your seats. In all seriousness, thank you very much for joining me. I'm off to watch some bobsledding, and hopefully I will be back next weekend for some more flying, probably either from the Solent or Ohio, depending on which one I can get the scenery for. In the meantime, if you've got an airport that you want me to fly from, pretty much all of them are in this game, so don't be afraid to suggest the little ones. Just bear in mind that the scenery in the middle of like Ecuador might not be as good as some bits in America and places like that. So, yes, please give it a like if you haven't already done so. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will see you on the next Jenny Air flight to somewhere.